Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for watching TCM. Ahead tonight, we turn back time with a double feature of movies starring Cher. By the way, the song If I Could Turn Back Time was written by Diane Warren, whose songs have been nominated for the Academy Award 17 times. 17. Diane is the most nominated person without a win in Oscar history. That feels like an injustice. By the way, number two, the Academy did bestow Diane Warren an honorary Oscar for her work in 2022. A third, by the way, that song, If I Could Turn Back Time, well, Diane had to bribe Cher into recording it. Cher hated it when she read the lyrics, but as soon as she started singing it in the studio, she realized Diane had written something special, and it became one of Cher's biggest hits. By the way, number four, we will have Diane Warren as one of our featured guests on season 3 of 2 for 1, where actors, directors, composers, producers, big talented names in the movies program a Saturday night double feature that matters to them. 2 for 1 premiered earlier this month. We're skipping this Saturday for our Memorial Day weekend marathon, but it picks up again on May 30th with Adam Shankman. Our focus tonight is on Cher, who has proven to be just as talented acting on the screen as she is singing on the stage. Cher emerged as a cultural force in the 1960s and 70s, but when her record sales dipped a bit in the early 80s, Cher began shifting some of her focus to acting. She moved to New York to study under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. Her time with Strasberg lasted only a couple of weeks before Robert Altman cast Cher in the Broadway production and then the subsequent film adaptation of the play, Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean. The production was not particularly well received or well attended, closing after just 2 months. One person, though, who both saw and liked the play was movie director Mike Nichols. Years earlier, Nichols refused to cast Cher in his film The Fortune. Cher told Nichols at the time, "Someday you're going to be sorry because I'm really talented." Nichols met her backstage after seeing the play, admitted he was wrong, and offered her a role on the spot in our first film tonight from 20th Century Fox in 1983, Silkwood. The film tells the true story of Karen Silkwood, that's Meryl Streep. She's a well-liked but slightly careless technician at a plutonium processing plant in Oklahoma, working with her boyfriend Drew, played by Kurt Russell, and her best friend Dolly. That's Cher. When Karen is blamed for a significant breach at the plant, she begins paying closer attention to the plant's safety protocols. She then further antagonizes management when she volunteers to be a union rep. What came next made national news. Just about everybody who saw this movie when it came out knew Karen Silkwood's story. Here's the film from 1983, also with Craig T. Nelson and Fred Ward, with a script written by Nora Ephron and Alice Arlen. Silkwood. In the years after Karen Silkwood's death in 1974, her family sued the Kerr-McGee Corporation. A jury awarded them $10.5 million in total damages. Kerr-McGee appealed the decision, and that number was reduced to $5,000. Come on, man. After years of more appeals and retrials, Kerr-McGee settled out of court with the Silkwood estate for $1.3 million. Going into Silkwood, Meryl Streep already had her first Oscar for Kramer versus Kramer. The idea of sharing scenes with one of the finest actresses ever terrified Cher. She nearly quit the project in the days leading up to the shoot until her sister talked her back into it. Thankfully, Cher listened. Cher and Meryl Streep remained friends, and they both received Oscar nominations for their performances in Silkwood. Silkwood established Cher as a major screen talent, and she spent the rest of the decade working with top directors like Peter Bogdanovich, Peter Yates, and George Miller. Just 5 years after nearly being too afraid to act with an Oscar winner, Cher wound up winning one of her own. And one of the actresses she beat that year, obviously Meryl Streep. Coming up, the film that won Cher that Oscar. It's a New York romance co-starring Nicolas Cage and Olympia Dukakis, all part of a brilliant ensemble cast. Moonstruck is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Moonstruck, then The Ragman, and later, Fires on the Plain. TCM goes up in smoke tonight.